The moment the underwater drone slipped beneath the glassy surface of Jacob's Well, the world watched with collective anticipation. This natural artesian spring, nestled in the heart of Texas Hill Country, had long been a source of both wonder and dread. Its crystalline waters and deep caverns drew adventurers and scientists alike. But this time something was different. The drone wasn't just there for exploration or mapping. It was deployed after an increasing number of unexplained incidents had rattled even the most experienced divers. The world wanted answers. What lay hidden in the watery depths of this infamous geological marvel? As the drone descended, inch by inch, the answers began to unfold, and they would shock everyone. Before we start, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more updates. Jacob's Well has always had a reputation, one cloaked in both beauty and menace. Known for its dangerously deep vertical shaft that branches into a complex network of tunnels, it has claimed lives and eluded full exploration for decades. Divers have reached remarkable depths, only to turn back when the passages narrowed into unforgiving slivers of limestone. It's as though the well has been hiding something, guarding its secrets behind curtains of darkness and pressure. The drone, custom-built with high-resolution imaging and sonar, had one mission: go where no human could safely venture and capture what lay in the unreachable crevices. As the drone descended past the first chamber, the waters remained eerily calm. Light from its floodlights pierced through the darkness, revealing smooth limestone walls and ghostly clouds of silt stirred by its propellers. The first chamber had been mapped before, and the footage it sent back looked familiar to those who had studied it. But it wasn't until the drone pushed through the second passageway, a narrow corridor leading to an uncharted third chamber, that the tone shifted dramatically. The image on the monitor began to distort, not from malfunction, but from an interference source that technicians had not anticipated. Instruments flickered, the drone's signal wavered, then it steadied, revealing a space that had never been seen by human eyes. The chamber was massive, much larger than previously thought possible beneath the well. The ceiling arched high above the drone's spotlight, and strange mineral formations draped from it like frozen curtains. The floor was littered with debris, some of it geological, some of it unmistakably artificial. Metallic glints caught the light, twisted scraps of objects that looked like they had once been man-made. Among the wreckage were diver helmets, old gear, and unrecognizable fragments of technology from decades past. None of this had ever been recovered or reported. For a moment, the silence was deafening, even across the live feed being transmitted to the surface. Then something moved. At first, it appeared to be a shifting shadow. But as the drone panned its camera, the shape resolved into something more definitive, something alive. The creature was enormous, far beyond the size of any aquatic animal native to freshwater springs. Its body moved with a sinuous grace, and its form defied easy categorization. It was neither fish nor reptile. Its eyes, yes, it had eyes, glowed faintly in the infrared spectrum. When the drone's spotlight struck its body, the creature didn't retreat. It turned. It looked directly into the camera, and then it vanished into the darkness. Those monitoring the drone feed were stunned. Panic rippled through the control team. Scientists whispered in disbelief. Military advisors, who had only been there in case of a technical emergency, began whispering into headsets, sending encrypted signals no one could decode. Whatever it wasn't just some unknown aquatic species. The creature exhibited signs of intelligence. Not animal cunning, but something deliberate, observational. It had approached the drone, not out of curiosity, but with intent. The drone continued deeper, following the last known trajectory of the creature. As it advanced, the terrain shifted. The smooth limestone walls began to exhibit strange carvings, patterns etched into the rock, symmetrical and intentional. They weren't random scratches or erosion marks. They were symbols, arranged in spirals and grids that mirrored ancient iconography. Some resembled glyphs found in Sumerian or pre-Columbian sites, but they were distorted, as if written by a culture that had evolved separately and secretly. The implications were staggering. This wasn't just a biological anomaly. This was cultural evidence of something completely unknown. Suddenly, the feed cut out. All signals from the drone stopped. For a moment, the room erupted in chaos. Technicians scrambled to re-establish contact. Emergency protocols were initiated. A second drone was prepped for launch. But deep down, no one believed they would recover the first. Whatever had been watching them had decided to act. Several agonizing minutes passed. Then the screen flickered back to life. But this time, the drone's position had changed. It had been moved. It was now lying on the floor of the chamber, tilted, its lens cracked but still functional. The audio feed buzzed with an unearthly hum, like a resonance vibrating through stone and water. The camera panned slowly, seemingly on its own. The creature was back, and it wasn't alone. There were others, dozens, maybe more. They hovered in the shadows, shapes too large and too alien to fully comprehend. They weren't just watching. They were performing some kind of coordinated movement, a pattern, a ritual. The drone, perhaps still receiving intermittent command signals, zoomed in on one of them. It held an object, not a weapon, a tool maybe, or an artifact. It bore the same carvings etched into the cave walls. Whatever civilization had created this, if civilization was even the right word, had clearly developed in isolation, deep isolation. The implications began to race through the minds of everyone witnessing the feed. Evolutionary biology, anthropology, history, all would need to be rewritten. The belief that intelligent life had only flourished on the surface was now shattered, and the question that began to gnaw at every mind: how long had they been there? The well had always been feared. Tales of people vanishing, of distorted compasses and diving accidents had been dismissed as tragic accidents or superstition. But what if those stories were true? What if the well hadn't merely taken them, but had been a point of contact or even a portal? This wasn't just an underwater cavern. It was an entrance to something hidden, ancient, and wholly other. As the drone's feed zoomed out one final time, a formation came into view, something that looked like an entranceway carved into the stone itself. A gateway framed by symmetrical pillars, half draped in algae and encrusted in calcite. The carvings intensified here, more refined, deliberate, almost like writing. A symbol at the center pulsated with bioluminescence, even though no visible organism was present. Then, as if triggered by the drone's proximity, the gateway began to open. A sudden rush of water and silt filled the chamber, and the drone was pushed violently backward. Alarms blared topside. The feed pixelated and went dark. No further transmission came through. The second drone was never launched. What terrified the world wasn't just the footage or the loss of contact. It was the realization that we had touched something we were never meant to see. Not only did these beings exist, but they had clearly chosen to remain hidden until now. They had observed humanity, perhaps for centuries, perhaps longer, and now they knew we had found them. News of the footage leaked almost immediately. Whistleblowers from inside the mission team couldn't contain what they had seen. The images, blurry and fragmented, spread like wildfire across the internet. Official agencies denied everything, citing equipment failure and hoax theories. But those who had seen the uncut feed, those who had witnessed the gate opening and the creatures emerging, knew the truth, and they were terrified. Speculation surged. Were these creatures descendants of some forgotten branch of evolution? Survivors of an ancient cataclysm? Or were they something entirely foreign? Something not of this earth at all, but instead dwelling beneath us, undetected, influencing history from below? Geological records were re-examined. Myths about underworld gods and aquatic deities were dissected for hidden meanings. Connections were made between disparate cultures that had all described beings from below. Serpentine watchers, deep dwellers, gods who came from the earth's womb. As theories expanded, so did the fear. If they had remained hidden for so long, why? What did they want? Was this an accidental discovery, or had it been orchestrated? Had humanity stumbled into their territory, or had they allowed us to find them? Questions swirled like a vortex, each more disturbing than the last. And the worst part, no one had any answers. The last still image recovered from the drone was examined in excruciating detail. It showed the gate fully open, a corridor stretching beyond into blackness. And in the far distance, faint distorted by water and distance, was a structure. Not rock, not cave, something built. Columns, arches, and what might have been a dome. The architecture looked impossibly ancient, yet intentional. Something deep inside the earth had built this. Something that had remained undisturbed until now. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, could you leave your comments below and tell us? What are your thoughts on what the drone found? Do you expect a shocking discovery? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching and see you next time.